Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi. Today, our founder, Jack Roeser, and myself have Mr. Jim Edwards with us, and we have a very special guest with us right now, Mr. Dana Pelan. And Dana is with the Illinois Tea Party. And now, Mr. Edwards, you're talking about 6 + 6 - 1. Now, Jack, you were saying there's a new passion in Republican politics here in Illinois, and that is the passion of the grassroots organizations, Tea Party, Patriot groups.
They follow their new mantra is from values to victory, because they have a big part. I'll tell you, the press and all are trying to denigrate the Tea Party movement. They are nuts. They are whistling in the cemetery.
That's because they fear the grassroots.
Numerous.
Well, and I heard you characterize it earlier. I think we've really gone from the pitchforks and torch phase with the rallies to the grassroots. Like, let's get people out on the streets. Let's knock on doors. Let's talk to people about your state future is hanging in the balance.
Right.
And our effort is called Let's Mobilize. It's you can go on IllinoisTeaParty.net. You can sign if you have. We're basically focusing on weekends. We'll buy you lunch. If you have to drive, we'll put you in a hotel overnight. We're really trying to make it as easy as possible on the volunteers.
See, that is the most important thing, because I got involved in this with the Rick Santelli rant, and I know specifically the cycle in 2010. That is exactly what the Awaken America organization focused on, was knocking doors, passionately promoting conservative values, less spending, less government, to independent voters, and that helped to, move.
I can testify that this stylish lady takes off the high heels and puts on the flats and goes door to door and pitches for the good folks of values.
But the big difference is, though, when Democrats walk, they get paid.
That's right.
We're
been doing it for years.
Doing this for our own self-best interest and trying to get the candidates in that are going to turn Illinois around. Like you said, 6 + 6 - 1.
Right.
Like, we're so focused in on that like a laser beam. Each weekend, we've got probably between 250 and 300 volunteers hitting the pavement. Those numbers continue to grow. This week.
And that's in your particular area.
No,
that's all over the state.
They're doing it all over the state.
We had people. I walked a district over the weekend where we had people that drove 3 hours to walk in that one particular district, because we're trying to focus all our efforts as like a laser beam into these areas where, Democrats outnumber Republicans, but the independents outnumber both combined.
But now here's the very interesting thing that I found coming from a grassroots perspective, just being one of the folks. Mm-hmm. When you talk to someone as their neighbor or a concerned citizen, not someone, from, directly from a political party or campaign, you are speaking more real, and you're concerned about the direction your country and your state is going in. And the more you talk to people, they relate to that. How many people do you find, Dana, that are hurting, that are scared, that are frightened?
I know I have friends that picked up businesses and moved to Wisconsin. They moved their families to Wisconsin.
But when you're walking precincts, how many people do you? What are some of the stories you're
when
hearing?
I walk in precincts, like we walked pretty much a whole district over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And, largely independent voters, they want the information. And I would say independent voters equal undecided voters.
Yep.
Because these people are hungry for information.
Yep.
They only kind of know what they're being told and funneled through the media. And it's up to us to kind of get the information, the literature in their hands, and we're not just walking for one particular candidate. If there are other candidates within that district, we're carrying their literature as well. Whether whether it's state senate or for some of the national races. Do
you find a lot of these people are starting to have non-trust for the mainstream media, where they're starting to question some of the propaganda tactics that the mainstream media is using?
I think a lot of people are shaken by how far the media has gone to sway public opinion and try and suppress the conservative vote this fall.
Don't you find when
that brings up another point, by the way, because they are appealing now not to just people that are part of any group. In fact, we got to give your information out for those concerned citizens that aren't part of a Patriot group aren't part of this or that.
Concerned citizens.
And we need to get more of these folks out there because of that, Carol. People are learning that the media is lying
exactly.
to them.
When we go door to door too.
How do they get
It's very easy. If you go to IllinoisTeaParty.net and click on the Let's Mobilize tab at the top, it'll break down the days and the times and the general areas within the state where we're focusing in all our efforts like a laser beam. And if you can do 3 hours, if you can do 6 hours, if you just go for an hour, if it's within your area, you have the opportunity to really make a difference. And these candidates, and pardon me, but the Republican Party isn't really helping them out a whole lot.
Well, you know what? This is the most important and impactful work that needs to be done. And everybody, if you are concerned about the direction our state or our country is, hook up with these patriot groups that are doing this fuller brush, door-to-door, talking to the folks work. It will change elections. And if not now, when are people going to do it, I guess? And if it's not somebody who's engaged and concerned, who's going to be doing this work? We don't have many weeks left. Again, how do they reach you, Dana?
It's IllinoisTeaParty.net and click on the Let's Mobilize button.
Okay.
And I tell people for myself, I went from screaming at the TV, I got to be able to look at my kids in the eye and say, I did everything I could when it was the most important.